Hey, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Hillary, and you can call us
The Garden Tarts.
You know, kissing lips and breaking hearts.
We have been bestest friends for over 25 years, and we love to talk you too.
We've had some super ridiculous adventures, and now this podcast, which is pretty much all opinion with a handful of facts thrown in.
Why a U2 podcast? Because as much as we love talking U2, we know you do too.
So sit down, grab a drink, and find us on Instagram and Twitter so we can chat. Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. Just recording a podcast. What are you up to?
Oh, I am creating a wig out of brown yarn and hot glue.
As you do.
As you do at 10:30 on a Wednesday night.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a 6th grader who called me frantically while I was at the gym today.
It's your own 6th grader. It's not some random.
No, I don't just
grader.
keep a 6th grader around. This happens to be one that I gave birth to. And they know to only call me at the gym when it's an emergency. So I might look at my watch. She's calling me. I know Dad's home. So I was like, what? I freak out. I run off the gym floor. I answer. And she's like, hey, Mom. Blah, blah. And I'm like, get to it. Don't mince this. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's just that I need a brown boy wig by tomorrow, and it's a really big part of my grade. And I don't know why, but can you just pick one up on your way home?
As you do.
It is December. There are no Halloween stores. Like wig store. I'm not going to go to like a real wig store for this shenanigan. I saw another kid to pick up a gymnastics. So I'm like, I will call you when I'm done at the gym. I go back to my workout. It's a class. I'm with friends. And another mom looks at me and she's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, this. And she's like, there's a craft store next door. You're going to take a deep breath. You are going to go get some brown yarn. And you're going to make a yarn wig.
And you did.
That is what I have done. I have an old winter hat on a bowl, some hot glue, and some brown yarn. Luckily, she doesn't mind looking like a fool, because that's what she's going to look like. So I have these funny little thoughts sometimes, and this just might put you all into my, really weird mind. But it brings me to our new segment that I've just made up for us, called, Do You Think Bono's Ever
Made a boy wig out of brown yarn?
I feel like he's got enough kids that have gone through enough school that he has got to have had a last-minute project land on his lap.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
He'd farm it out to someone.
Yeah. He knows enough talented people.
Yeah. He's got a guy.
He's got a guy to get shit done.
Yeah.
But so that really leads, I was going to start drinking with you on this podcast, but I might have started early.
That's okay.
I'm not really one for stressful parent drinking, but since I knew we'd be drinking later anyway. Also, our president got impeached today. Can I say that?
He totally did.
Can I
so
call
if
him
you're watching in 20 years, you can gauge where we are today in history.
Yeah, it is Wednesday, December 18th, 2019.
Yep.
So that's a reason to drink.
And if you're listening from the future, God, I really hope things go well.
I know, right?
We can't wait to find out. If you have some way to respond to this podcast in the future,
let us know if it's all okay.
Yeah.
In the future,
we have a lot of other questions too that have nothing to do with that.
I wonder what podcasts are going to be like in the future. Do you think there'll be podcasts? Or do you think stuff will just be transported to your brain through the airwaves?
It might be. I saw a thing actually today about what people thought 2020 was going to be in like 1970 or something.
Yeah.
A lot of it was right on. But all the predictions, all of them had us having personal flying vehicles.
Well, yes, of course.
And the other thing was that
A la the
there
Jets.
was human underwater life.
Oh.
So those two things were a miss. But
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff was like you don't go shopping anymore. Stuff comes, directly to you. They didn't really have any ways to tell you, it comes to you,
Yeah.
I guess, through a space car.
They went from A to C without the B.
They had rope,
You need a rope.
right? Underwear gnomes. If you get
We'll
it, you
tell
get
that
it.
story one day.
Yeah, one day.
Have we ever
Um,
told it? I
I
don't
don't
think
I don't
so.
think we should tell the whole story because
No.
it's not that off. It's
Not that good.
feasible. I'm still positive it's feasible. So maybe somebody out there might know what step B is.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. But anyway, that's where we are today. And you're drinking.
I've got this screwball peanut butter whiskey that you were drinking last time.
And I am drinking again this time.
Damn. I knew you said it was good, but oh my
It's good.
God.
I know, and I've gone through like half a bottle, and it's just me. I didn't share.
I was out with Garden Tart Amanda last night. We were at a friend's house and I took over chocolate whiskey.
I'm very
It
intrigued by that.
was really, it had a whole bunch of flavors. I find that all very suspicious.
Yeah.
But it's from Bowling Green, Kentucky, which I have been there. It is in bourbon country. And to make bourbon, you need whiskey. So I thought there must be something okay with this. Let me tell you, friends, if you ever have it, sip it after dinner like a dessert drink. Don't do shots of it before your wine and pizza. Because you will be hungover in a matter of hours.
Noted. Noted.
I got a headache so fast, but it was so good. It was like a dessert whiskey. It was
I
crazy.
really need to try that. Can you send me the name of that sometime?
I took a picture of it. I'm going to tell you what it was. It's called Bird Dog.
Bird Dog.
Bird Dog. There's a very cute dog on the front of it. But I would drink that again, just not as like an appetizer.
Right.
It was not a good move.
Well, I haven't found any time where Screwball has not been appropriate to drink.
This seems like a very all-around good flavor for whatever time of day you need.
Yeah,
whiskey.
I think we should give Screwball a shout out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Screwball, for giving our life more peanut buttery quality.
Yeah. We'll have to tweet to them.
Yeah.
Let them know we're enjoying them because this is some good stuff.
Right? Hey, Jenny.
Yeah.
Do we have any new listeners?
We do have some new listeners. We have added the state of North Dakota.
Yay.
Yeah. And the country of South Africa.
That is so cool.
Really cool. Let me look real quick and I can tell you exactly where. Because I know that that is not a small place. I know we have a lot of new cities. We apparently have blown up in England, which is just crazy to me.
It is crazy.
Totally
but
crazy.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
In Northern Cape, Kathu, 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 in the Northern Cape of South Africa. Welcome.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We're very flattered.
Yeah. In North Dakota, it's Valley City, North Dakota. How you doing?
Very cool.
Yeah.
What made you start listening to us? Like, how'd you hear about us?
Yeah, I would love to know that. The easiest way to find us is on Twitter. You can go to _Garden Tarts. But you can also find us on Instagram with the same handle. Or email us at wearethegardentarts@gmail.com. There's lots. You'll find us. Just Google us. We're findable.
We are.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey there, friends. Jenny here from the Garden Tarts, and I want to tell you about Anchor, which is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it is 100% free, and there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard across multiple platforms, including Spotify and Apple. You can make money with your podcast, and it's everything you need to create a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
So, oh my gosh, we've talked like 0% minus Bono making wigs for his children's school projects. We've talked 0% U2. So much, the U2 world they're all tied up for the holidays. They're all done. Like a neat little bow. But some stuff has happened. Hey, last time we recorded, we forgot to congratulate them on that Polestar thing.
Yes.
Polestar named them the Artist of the Decade. Which
nice
is
work, boys.
Yeah. This isn't like the Grammys where you get voted on it. This is like a statistical thing, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this real quick. The article was called U2's Experience in Dominance. I mean, seriously, talking about worrying about remaining relevant.
Right.
Like, take a seat, boys. You're fine.
Right.
So in the 2010s, between the 360 tour, which ended in 2011, I&E, the JT 2017 tour, and E&I, they grossed over $1 billion in sales, which was more than 9.3 million tickets sold to 255 shows. That is so many people.
That's a lot. That
does not count the tour they just finished, the Joshua Tree through 2019, which they think will add another 500 to 600,000 tickets. That would put them at like 10 million tickets sold.
And I bought 269 of them.
And I bought another 269 of them.
Yeah.
It's like what, a year of private school?
Braces for all the kids.
Braces for all the kids.
I'm so proud of those straight teeth of all those kids because I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, and I'm happy to have done it.
And I'm so glad they had such high quality private education because maybe those extra art classes, a few guitars, I don't know, paid for it.
I don't know. You know what it was? It was the combination of that and, you know, their class projects that Bono had to participate in. Like they're set with that, with the private school, the projects, and the braces.
Totally set. So when we last made an episode, they had not yet played in Seoul, South Korea. So that's where we should start.
We should start there.
They played there on December 8th, 2019 for the first time ever. It was... The set list was absolutely normal, other than the fact that it was the anniversary of John Lennon's death.
The 39th anniversary of John Lennon's death.
And I had just learned, because of this, that they were in New York State when they got the news.
It was only like a few days after they first played in the U.S.
Yeah, welcome to America. Here's this awful news. You're in the state it happened in. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So before the show, someone posted this video online. Bono was greeting fans waiting outside the arena, and he said that he couldn't take pictures or do autographs. He had to get in for sound check. But someone asked him about John Lennon, and he said, something to the effect of, I've been thinking about him since this morning, but I haven't. They asked if there would be any Beatles snippets that night. And he said he hadn't really sat with it yet because he wanted to wait for the show, which I thought was cool.
That's very cool.
To be in the moment with it.
And they did snip She Loves You and Love Me Do into Vertigo, and All You Need Is Love into Love Is Bigger.
Yes. And some of that came back the next night, the next show too, which was fun.
Yeah.
There was the kind of running joke of fans. I mean, joke is the really wrong term for it. That in Australia and New Zealand, and I don't know about Tokyo, but it was just so fucking hot, like ungodly hot. And I mean, at some point, there's some video of Bono. He's on like the tree stage, and his shirt's almost all the way unbuttoned. Like, that's how hot it was.
That's hot.
He was like Larry styling it.
Oy.
But at one point, he asked Larry on stage what he missed about home, and Larry was like, the cold and the snow, because it was so hot. And then this in Seoul was the coldest show. Apparently, reports were after the show, it was -4 degrees Celsius, I presume, which is a huge change from those blistering hot shows.
Should we find out what that actually is? Hang on a second.
Okay.
You said it was negative what?
-4 Celsius.
Alexa, what is -4 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
-4 degrees Celsius is 24.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
24.8 degrees?
That's
Celsius.
cold.
Fahrenheit. That is cold.
And I mean, imagine coming out of a show and then...
Oh my god.
Is it in a dome or something? I don't know.
I'm actually not sure. Oh, it was a sky dome. I don't know what that means.
Probably is
Enclosed
just
or not.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah. If it is that cold, they definitely played indoors.
Yeah.
So the next show after that, so that was December 8th. Then December 11th, they played in Manila in the Philippines.
Again, their first show there ever.
And I mean, holy shit. I listened to as many of these shows as I could live on Mixlr, like at least parts of them. This show started at a good time where I could catch the beginning through most of the Joshua Tree set. I have never cried over Mixlr before. Like,
it was that good.
I mean, the second Sunday Bloody Sunday started, like it was like you could tell the band was on absolute fire. They were feeding off the audience. The audience was insane. It turns out it was also a very small venue, like an insanely small venue.
It says here that there was major traffic and they had to delay the show a little bit.
They did. And then, gosh, like 45 minutes? Maybe I'm making that up. A really long time. And then people still weren't even there. And then on the way out, people were still all over Twitter. Like, it's 3 a.m. and we are still in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
So, I don't know about that. But the show was unreal. The energy was insane. It was the loudest crowd I have ever heard. And it wasn't loud because the people were close to the speaker of the phone.
Right. It was
and it wasn't screaming. It was like with the band.
Right.
It was insane.
Oh, that's so cool.
Bono said that someone had just told him it was their 2050th show.
Right.
To which he said, how old does that make us? To which I said, you don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know. But again, I'm sure there are people that say they've been to, 2055 shows.
Yeah. But how much does it suck that they ended on 2051?
Right?
You should have rounded that out, boys.
I know.
Oh my gosh. He snipped Heroes during Bad. He had a meeting with the Red Cross volunteers. Oh, he did a press conference with Zipline.
So I saw a picture of that. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, Zipline is that drone company he's on the board of.
Right.
So that was actually pretty cool. If you look that up, there's some video from that. Of course, there were a bunch of people on the panel for the press conference, and everyone's like, Bono, Bono, Bono.
Right.
And the monitor's like, maybe we could ask some other members of the panel some questions.
Who?
And then people are like, Bono.
Right. You get your one shot.
When he couldn't answer a question well, he handed it to the right person. Like He was very humble during, like, very, like, this
Yeah.
is not actually about me. What else? Running to Stand Still had the traditional Hallelujah at the end. More She Loves You by the Beatles. Oh, he name-checked Cecilia Coffey during Bold the Blue Sky.
Which is really cool. That's Larry's sister.
I have a slew of postcards from her.
She used to be their whole fan club.
Yeah.
She ran the fan club.
If you sent mail to the fan club, she would reply to let you know.
So you weren't getting another reply.
Yeah. But it was really cool. Like, I ran a fanzine at the time, and she said the band always saw it. So she always passed on fanzines. But she would say, oh, this was passed on to Larry, or oh, this was passed on to Bono, or oh, I'll make sure Edge sees this. Like, she was very, and sometimes she would just say, got it. Like, just checking in.
Very cool.
Every time I asked her, because it got to the point where she was so good at replying that I think people would just send her letters.
Right.
Like, no joke. Like, I'm like, and I must have asked her once about the fan mail volume, and I wish I remembered exactly what it was. But she said that when they're not on tour and there's no new album, they get like 300 pieces a week or something.
Oh my God.
And when it is tour
In
time,
season.
it goes like threefold.
Oh my
I'll have to
gosh.
find it. I can't even imagine.
I
It's
don't know. I
crazy.
mean, I guess that's how people think that they can reach the band still.
Except that that was the principal management address. And that doesn't exist anymore.
No. So we don't know what to do.
And no, I don't know what you would do to read. I mean, I guess you could mail the Maverick address, but that's in New York or LA or something.
I think it's in LA. I mean, wouldn't you think that?
I mean, it's a huge record label.
Yeah.
Might as well send one to Madonna while you're on it.
I mean, really, it's multitasking. Dear Bono and Madonna. What happened to your last names?
Love ya. Bye.
Are they together somewhere happy?
Did they go to the last name heaven together?
Yeah. I don't know. I bet they don't even have post office. Like they don't even have mailboxes anymore.
Maybe not.
So
I read
we
this
can't-
really, and so Chrissy Teigen is really big on Twitter,
I love Chrissy Teigen
love her
so
so
very
much.
much.
and she did a session recently on Twitter. I read it in like the Huffington Post, like so they collected everything together, but she did this like publicized question and answer session on Twitter about like she's like asked me questions about famous life, and it was everything like how do you get through airport security, how do you go grocery shopping, what's it, do your nannies live with you? I mean, everything. But one of them was about mail, and she was like, I don't get mail.
Right.
Like, someone handles our bills. This is not like there's no. She
She
doesn't.
like probably has no receptacle for.
Right. Like, there's just no mailbox on their house.
But if you do have some sort of secret way of contacting you two or Chrissy Teigen,
Yeah.
let us know. You can private message us. We won't
Sounds
tell
good.
anybody.
We won't tell a single soul.
Yeah, if you've got some insight.
I mean, Chrissy, you can just say hi on Twitter.
Hey, Chrissy. Let's just
Go
shout out
on.
anyway.
Tell
She's
John
so
we said
awesome.
hi.
There's some video, it's like one of my favorite videos ever, where she's talking to her daughter about a dress or something, and her daughter's like, don't talk about me. And it just went on and on. She's like, don't say my name. This little kid. And so she was like, okay, I'm Chrissy, and this is the boy's name, and I think it was her mom, and a girl. And she's just like, and a girl, because she couldn't say her daughter's name. It's like, no, don't say my name.
There was some recent video of her, and she's like just out of the shower. Like, she's in a robe, her hair's all over the place. It's not like revealing or anything. I just mean it's like an everyday video, and she's got like her smart speaker on. I won't say the name of it. And it's really loud. It's really loud. And she's just yelling, Alexa, volume down. That is so loud the speaker can't hear her.
Oh
and then
my
someone's like,
gosh.
Someone's like, Chrissy, there's a button. So she just hit the button to turn it down.
Man, I love her so much, and the whole Legend family.
They're so great.
They're just adorable. I feel like they're my friends, all of them.
I know.
And I just saw a thing, actually. It was somewhere today where it was a thing saying that John Legend had invited the other people from the show he's on, which I don't watch that TV, so I'm not sure what it... The Voice.
The Voice? I was saying, is it The Voice?
Yeah. I don't watch it. I don't...
He's on The Voice, yeah.
I don't even understand that concept, and you don't have to go explain it to me because it's just not my...
If you ever want me to, I'll tell you. My kids watch it.
Okay. But anyway, apparently he invited his fellow judges, hosts, or whatever to a holiday party, and he forgot to tell Chrissy.
So it was
that's
Gwen
kind of
Stefani,
like that's like
and Blake
he called
Shelton
her
and Kelly Clarkson.
And he called her. I bet she was at the gym or trying to figure out how to make a brown boy's wig.
A yarn wig.
A yarn wig.
Me and Christy, we're one and the same.
Feel like it. She would be our friend.
I really think so.
Do you think she likes you too?
I think so.
I don't see why not.
I mean, maybe she's not like a mega fan, but I bet you she'd enjoy them.
I think John Legend did a cover of a U2 song.
He did?
I feel like he maybe did, like many, 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 many years ago.
I'm gonna look real quick.
Do it. I think he did.
Oh, John Legend U2 cover. Was it Pride? He did Pride in the Name of Love.
Yes.
Because Pride needs more exposure.
Exactly. Nobody knows that enough.
I'll have to listen to that. I don't know that I've heard it. He said he performed it at the 2018 People's Choice Awards.
Oh. Well, the only way I found out about that was that my little cousin, who was like a teenager at the time, said, "Hey, did you see John Legend playing U2?" And I'm like, "No. I don't know that I knew who he was."
I bet you he sang it like an angel.
I'm sure he did. I have a funny story. I was at Busch Gardens on Saturday night, and it was freezing, and we were waiting for like a flat out queue kind of waiting forever where you can't even see what happens in the future. Go on the skylift because it was supposed to be really cool to see all the Christmas lights and everything. We got on the wrong skylift and we saw like nothing after this whole wait. But anyway, my friend who I was with that night was telling me she made a Christmas Eve party. She's a party every year for Christmas Eve playlist, and there were 3 U2 songs on it.
Okay.
And could I guess what they were? Well, right away, I'm like, "It's Christmas, baby, please come home."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, you got that one." And then she was like, "Okay, there are 2 more." And she was like, "They're kind of, more peppy." And I mean, I went through, I'm like, Elevation, I Will Follow, Beautiful Day, Mysterious
Beautiful
Way.
Day was one of my guesses. No.
Right? Okay. I went through like this whole list and I could not think of it. And I'm like, I'm out of peppy songs. Like I came up with, like I said, every song I could think of.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, you're missing it." And so then I'm like, "Well, have you seen it live before?" And she was like, "I definitely have seen it live." She went to 2 shows with me for E&I. And she's like, I've definitely seen it live." And so she did she's like giving me hints, and I'm like, I don't want any hints. But then she like holds up 1 finger and then 2 fingers and then 3 fingers, and I'm like, "Vertigo." And then she's like, "Okay, guess the other song." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't." Like, I already listed every single freaking song I could think of. She also was misleading me a little bit because she thought that the second song was from the 90s or something. I don't know. She didn't know. Yeah. She doesn't know timelines, and she kind of accidentally misled me there. But then she was like, the second song has a musical instrument that you don't hear very often in U2 songs. And I'm like, a piano? New Year's Day? Like,
Yeah.
And then she's like a small instrument, and I'm like, desire, and she's like, yeah.
A small instrument.
Yeah.
That would have been.
This took a good hour and a half because we were in line that long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I would have had trouble with that. I thought Pride was going to be one of them, the way you were.
Going right back to Elevation. I'm like, it has to be Elevation or Beautiful Day. It has to be. She's like, no. I'm like, I can't think of anything else.
Hey,
Yeah.
back to this. Can I go back to Manila for a minute?
Please.
So there was lots of wondering about a lot of these countries have some really like fucked up political stuff going on. And of course the band, aka Bono, is like, oh, you all are so wonderful and have amazing things and look what you're doing. And people are like, grumble, 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 grumble. So the thing in the Philippines is about like journalists and the freedom of the press. And he like went on at one point about how important free press is and this and this and that. And I just really appreciate the way that they drive their like nonviolence, peaceful message home without overstating it, but just keeping a theme consistent through like a whole night of like, we don't agree with that and we agree with it.
Right.
Like it's really, that way it's like not polarizing while at the same time you know exactly how they feel about things.
So I don't remember which country it was, but apparently in one of the countries, one of their email luminaries, or two of them actually, were pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they did enough research before they...
Oh, the band didn't?
Yeah.
So, U2songs.com has an entire article on all they call them the luminous icons. So that's what the band calls them, up during Ultraviolet. And I actually just got a message from them today because I was talking with him about something else. And he was saying he was just finishing up that article. But for this whole leg of the tour, starting in New Zealand through Mumbai, they listed all of the people.
Uh-huh.
They were up there with like a little background story about each of them and this and that. And I wonder if that information is in there. It's a really thorough content. Like, I'm really impressed by it.
I need to look at that.
It's a lot. They list them by people. They list them by groups, because sometimes it would say, you know, the suffragettes or Pussy Riot. Like, it would. Right. It's not just individuals. It's groups, and by what country their picture was up in, and oh my gosh, it is intense.
That's really cool to. I wish I had the patience to do that.
Oh my gosh. I was like, it is amazing. And they're like, we actually love doing it.
Yeah.
I reached out to them because I noticed that our former Clevelander new Bono best friend, Phoebe Robinson, was not listed. And she went up in Sydney too. Her face.
Oh. Yeah. Very cool though.
Yeah. It's Sydney 1. He like name checked her before Ultraviolet because she has started doing a whole lot of campaigning for the Red campaign. She's become very vocal about that. She actually hosted one of the Shopathon days on Amazon. And then he said, oh, you should be up there. He said it like right into the mic. So I'm like, you know, she's going to be up there tomorrow.
Right. Well, just bringing that up, if you still are looking for holiday gifts to get your loved ones, you should go on Amazon and look at their Product Red items.
Yeah. Shop Red.
No, you should really. They have some good stuff.
I got some stocking stuffers this year. I got people lip balm, Band-Aids, and pens.
You need those things.
These are things you'd use anyway.
Yeah.
And I got myself a shirt.
Hey there, listeners. If you're a U2 fan, you are more than likely aware of the work that Bono has done and continues to do in Africa. It's amazing work, and the exciting thing is you can get involved too. There are 2 simple ways. 1. Go to one.org and sign up to fight against extreme poverty. 2. Visit red.org to shop. What? Shopping helps? It sure does. By purchasing Red branded products, you are contributing to the Global Fund, which supports HIV/AIDS grants in many African countries. As your man says, where you live should not decide whether you live or whether you die. So head on over to one.org and red.org to join the Garden Tarts in doing our part to end AIDS.
I haven't gotten myself anything red this year, but that's not true. You got a
case.
I got a new case because my new old case, it's only a couple months old, got really dirty and gross. So
I decided that for my birthday in a few weeks, I'm going to trade in my iPhone 8 and get a new red phone.
Very exciting.
I'm just going to
do
11. It. I want it.
You deserve it. Especially after this whole hat debacle today.
The hat, it's a wig. It's
wig debacle, sorry.
I wish y'all could see me. I'm going to put it on. Should I take a picture of me podcasting with my... I need to trim it.
That's hot. Oh, poor 6th grader.
Well, it's supposed to be like boy length hair. So which of course could be anything, but I think she's meaning something short. I just took wait, where's my whiskey? The hot glue makes it look like I have like some kind of patterned hair loss.
It's just your roots.
It's just my Irish roots.
Right.
Ha ha. It's on a pink winter hat that you can see very clearly through the yarn. So that's how this actually, I might have yelled at her a lot about this.
Aww.
To which she kept saying, but it's not my fault.
And you said she's known since when?
Monday, 2 days. But Amazon is fucking fast.
Yeah.
And I know people. I could have reached out to people. Oh my gosh. We have one more show.
One more show to discuss.
One show. Okay.
Yes.
We're leaving Manila in the Philippines. And we are traveling to Mumbai, India.
Yes.
And this was like big time. This was big time press around this event. Huge press. Like months and months and months and months and months ago. That 1000th issue, I can't talk, of Hot Press that came out.
Yes.
And Bono wrote an article in there about going to India. And he said something about how he was worried that visiting India would change him forever. I don't think he meant that maybe worried isn't the right word he used. But
suspicious.
I think he just knew that it's the whole like nonviolence thing. I was reading that Bono in Conversation book, which takes place in 2009.
Something like that.
And I just read this paragraph about how, there was something about Sunday Bloody Sunday and about how that's when U2's like nonviolent roots took place. Like that's where that got rooted and went from there. And Martin Luther King, blah, blah, blah. But Martin Luther King goes back to Gandhi in India. Like this is like where John and Yoko went there.
Yeah. Well, I was a little worried about this because as much as India is known for Gandhi and his stance on nonviolence, it is a violent place at the moment. Violent.
Especially
I got a little nervous about that. And then there was something that I felt like it was like 10 minutes after they got on the plane or something. It was like a big rape incident or something. I don't know, but it's not. Yeah. So I have a few I actually did watch part of that show.
I listened to it, but I didn't have a chance to watch any of it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Well, one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting was the signs that just don't make. They had all these signs up.
The fan signs?
No.
Oh no, the venue.
The venue had these signs that like they seem like some of them seem really Irish signs, like don't put dog poop in your eyes.
That's no joke.
But some of them were like, don't stand here for tickets or something. Like it was like a really specific instruction, but it was like it didn't say what to stand here for. It was just
don't
like,
do that.
whatever you do.
It's like the Irish sign that's just a graphic that says "Don't fall in the river." Like, don't drive your car into the Liffey.
So speaking of this, I also read a thing today that they've had so much rain and bad weather in Ireland that the Liffey is, as we speak, in jeopardy of overflowing.
What?
And yeah, I saw a picture and it's like all the way up the canal. Like
That
it's
is
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Apparently it's happened before, and I also saw a picture of one time that it froze, but it was like it was like a really old-timey picture.
Yeah.
But like people were like walking under the arches of the bridges.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it
gets
really
cold there, but not that cold for that long for so much water.
Yeah, for that much water. Anyway, I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually meant to send you that article.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'd like to see those pictures. So back to the like violence against women in India. Bono, during Beautiful Day, he always says, "It's a beautiful day when, it's a beautiful day when." He said, "A beautiful day when women are safe in their homes and walking the streets, when sisters around the world are in schools with their brothers. That's a beautiful day when women of the world rewrite history as her story. But that when they are safe in their homes and walking the streets, like that is."
I just got chills.
Yeah. So it's those little, it's like that. They're constantly poking. Poke.
Right.
Poke. I thought was so cool. Before, I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but before one, he said, "We couldn't have started this tour without this song. We couldn't start this song without this thought from Mahatma Gandhi. All of humanity is one undivided and indivisible family." And then he said something like, "though a dysfunctional family."
Right.
But you think back to those Berlin sessions.
Right.
When one became
peace.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The show seemed there were a ton of snippets, like more than usual. One of which was, excitingly, "Shine Like Stars" during With or Without You.
Oh my gosh.
Which is about my favorite thing ever to happen.
And we had just been talking about, like, how was that not like muscle memory?
Right.
Like, how was that just not just part of the song for him? This came up online somewhere, and someone made the good point that when he does do Shine Like Stars, like, the people in the front get really excited, but the stadium doesn't get it.
No.
So there's not a lot of, return on investment there. Like,
Right.
It's, as a performer looking for a reaction, is that what you want? It was interesting. He messed it up the first time. Like, he started it and didn't know what he was going to say. So then he did it again. And it was perfect.
Good.
Like, Shine Like Stars and an Indian Night. The first time was a little like, oh man, you fucked it up.
Right.
But what made him do it?
Ever. Come on.
What? Why? What makes it? I'm so curious.
So I heard it after many years of not ever hearing it. I heard it with Garden Tart Amanda in Toronto for I&E, and somebody in the queue had like passed out hundreds of these little signs that said "Shine Like Stars."
I saw pictures of that.
And we're like, yeah, he's still not going to do it. And I mean, I wasn't even like anticipating it. Like, I wasn't like, oh, is he going to do it? I was just like listening to the song because I was pretty sure he wasn't going to do it. And he did it. But so apparently another friend of ours, two of our friends were across the E stage from us and watched our reaction. which was like jaw dropping. And then we looked at each other, and then we looked at him, and then we looked at each other again. And it was like perfectly narrated. Our friend perfectly narrated what was like exactly what we did. But I mean, because we had to like look at each other twice for that one.
Like, is
It
that
was just, like,
happening? That's amazing.
that day I said that was the best show I'd ever seen, and I've since changed my mind. But that day, it sure as hell felt like the best show I'd ever seen.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah, but
I
God,
love it.
that's so exciting when you have that, just something like that happens that's just totally not expected
Yeah.
during the show. It's just like the most exciting thing. There was something also, I was with Garden Tart Amanda, and we were in Michigan for 360 in 09.
Maybe, yeah.
And we were in East Lansing.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the song was, but there was a song, and I like gasped, and then I choked. So I was just like, I couldn't breathe.
You're gonna have to look it up then later and see what it was.
No, and I did, but I do need to look. For some reason, I feel like it was Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me or something. It was
Yeah.
something that I really, really did not expect. But also, I was really good with not looking at set lists. And I'm usually good at that. But this was like when they came back for the shows no, I think that, because that was, no, it wasn't. I take it back. It was 11. I'm so wrong about that. But I've been very
11.
careful about not looking at set lists, so I was surprised by everything, including that they didn't play much of that album, but we'll get there.
Right.
We'll get to that point another time. So a really cool thing is that during Desire, Noel Gallagher came out.
And like, he'd been done opening for them for many shows.
Many shows, and for actual Joshua Tree shows. I mean,
Yeah.
from the main tour.
And
And
opened for
that
them
was really
all
cool.
through Australia, and then I think was done.
But I think that he opened for them for all of the European dates for Joshua
Yeah.
Tree 17, which really pissed me off a little, because I just love Noel Gallagher so much.
Really would have loved to have seen him. We did get some cool openers.
Yeah, we did. But so then during Vertigo, Bono snipped Live Forever by Oasis,
Mm-hmm.
which was really super cool.
Before, even better than The Real Thing, he snipped Rock and Roll High School, and then he called out the Ramones and asked if people knew them, and was like, you should look them up.
Really? I didn't see that.
I don't know exactly what words he said, but he was like, people don't know what I'm talking about here.
That's really funny.
And then there was the world debut of Ahimsa.
Yes.
They took out Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way, and A.R. Rahman, and there were 3 women that came out. I assume 2 of them are his daughters, and then there was a 3rd woman.
I couldn't
know if
understand
that
what Bono
was-
said when I watched it, but I couldn't understand him.
I have
Like
it written
talking.
down. He said, India, what a story you're writing. You're just getting started, aren't you? The other day we were in the house of Mahatma Gandhi, the latest pilgrims on that journey. Martin Luther King came and slept there. John and Yoko came to the city as students of peaceful protests, taught us this prayer. All we are saying is give peace a chance. And then there was some more. It was pretty cool.
He
It's really
snipped
weird.
Give Peace a Chance into Bad.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And then for one, he had A.R. Rahman and his daughters and Noel Gallagher come out.
Yes.
So,
He also said, I'm skipping some of what else he said before Ahimsa, but he said, in every corner of this great country and around the world, sing it with us. India taught us this song. Then with your votes, turn this meditation into legislation. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
very cool.
I like that.
And he has a way with words for sure.
He should be a writer. He's missed his calling.
I know. I think he's written a few good lyrics over the years, maybe.
Yeah. We can figure that out.
Yeah.
Do you know what you'd want to ask Bono over whiskey and cake?
I did not have this planned, but I think I want to ask him, like, what he wants to do now that he's home from the tour. Like, after this I mean, they had a long break, but I mean, is it really a break when you have to go right back to work?
Right.
This is like, I mean, maybe they do know, maybe they do have everything on time schedule. I suspect they do, but like, it just seems like they're actually going to be able to take a break. What's he going to do? Is he going to like knit or take up archery or
that man should be nowhere near
landscaping,
archery equipment.
maybe he's going to learn how to play the accordion.
I think
or
knitting needles might be too dangerous.
Yeah.
I do know there was an inhaler show right after he got home, so he had some
family time. But I really do, like, again, I think I asked it last time, actually, like, what do you do to relax on tour? What you gonna do to I mean, it's Christmas time, but what you gonna do to relax? You need to relax, man. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. We all need to relax.
You know, and he should watch Schitt's Creek.
I really think he'd like Schitt's Creek.
I think he would too. But he should watch Schitt's Creek. I think he'd like it. And if you're listening and you know Bono, please tell him that we said to watch
Schitt's Creek. I hope it's
and
available.
The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah. What would you ask him?
I've been having a hard time thinking about this because we kind of already covered this, but I feel like we asked it before the tour was truly done. I think we talked about this when we were talking about the actual Joshua Tree album. But now that the Joshua Tree tour is truly done, and these songs, the majority of these songs, I assume, are truly going to bed. Like, I don't think we will ever hear Exit again.
No. I wouldn't expect that.
Ever. The majority of those songs I don't think we'll ever hear again. Like, there's so many questions in there. Like, what will you miss? What won't you miss? What did you enjoy? What was hard? What didn't you like? What was reminiscent? You know, I feel like I don't have a single question in there.
Right. But I know where
yeah. Like, there have to be so many feelings around that.
Yeah.
And I think we could ask those same questions to Edge over sake and pie.
Yeah.
With our new segment, Sake to Me, Edge.
Sake. Do you like sake?
I do like sake.
I'm not that big of a fan, but I really feel like I haven't given it a fair chance.
Have you had it both hot and cold?
I don't think I've had it hot.
Hot. So I feel like I heard once that one way is more traditional than the other, and I don't know what it is. I find the hot to be very soothing, but if it's really chilled, I find it really smooth. I don't know. I enjoy it.
I need to work on my sake skills a little more.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I bet you Edge can teach us a lot about sake.
Right. Again, though, I think the way to reach Edge is through Bono and Whiskey and Cake.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, Bono, we've got the cake. We can bring whatever cake you want.
Right.
Or
so, a few little things. Firstly, and I mean, if you don't listen to every episode, you might think that we actually know what we're talking about here, but we really don't know Bono.
We know him as well as you do, listener.
Right, we know him as well as you do. That's correct. And we're probably not going to have Whiskey and Cake with him ever, but it's a fun game.
We are totally having Whiskey and Cake with him. Don't put those negative vibes out there.
I'm sorry. I just don't want people to get, the wrong idea, like we have some sort of connection to anything.
Oh, right. I just, as we know...
If you're new and you listen to this episode, you probably think that we're buds or something.
Yeah. But everything can happen.
Everything can happen.
I've been putting,
You're right. We probably are gonna have Whiskey and Cake with him sometime.
Yeah. Everything can happen.
And then literally. After that, we're going to have a topic on our podcast. That's going to be, what would you ask Bono over Whiskey and Cake next time?
Yes.
Again.
I love it.
Because, we have all these questions, but no one's got time for that.
No. This is going to be many sessions with many cakes and many bottles of whiskey. I hope there's more whiskey than cake.
Yeah, I want to, but at some point we're going to forget those questions if the more...
We have to go back and listen.
We need to write it down.
Oh, goodness.
So interesting thing from Mumbai was they did a photo shoot for something.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is, but it was all of them fully clothed in a pool.
They were, I mean, they had on like tuxedos with no shirt.
Yes.
So I don't want to say fully clothed. But they were in a swimming pool.
Yep. In a swimming pool.
The Beatles.
Yes. And it really is so much like that George Harrison thing. I didn't get that connection.
Yeah. It wasn't the Beatles, it was George Harrison. Right.
Yeah. But I think it started from the Beatles.
Oh, did it?
I think they
yeah.
Yeah, but I think
it been in water before. There was something around like Vertigo-ish or something. They were like in the ocean or something. But they weren't like neck deep.
Right.
Yeah, so what is it? I think my guess is that this is some kind of like Rolling Stone cover photo shoot.
Right.
But Anton Corbin was shooting that, and he was shooting photos like crazy all through India.
So it's exciting. I mean, I remember during I&E, they did this major photo shoot somewhere. And I remember being a little upset because Bono's hair was not ideal for my taste.
Yeah, okay.
And I was really upset. Like, I'm like, they just did a photo shoot for their new album with his hair looking like this.
Yeah.
Like, and it did, but I think that they maybe darkened it for the stuff for E&I.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that was
Songs of Experience.
That was not done hair in the pool for him.
That was what?
His hair was not like fancy done in the pool.
No.
Maybe it doesn't.
But I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, like where's that going to show up? Who knows?
I mean, what's next, you guys?
We're ready for it.
We're ready.
I really want them to take their time, just not too much time.
Yeah, I mean, like you sent me this thing saying somebody said there was a rumor that there was going to be a tour in 2020, and I'm like, I can't. No.
Yeah, they said like 2020, 2021, and I'm like, no, there has to be a new album. No.
I would like to be prepared for that for 2021, but I cannot do this in 2020.
No. We need a good year. They need a good year. Like, we need them to rest and be creative and get some new music done.
Good music.
I hope it's going to be great.
This has been exciting to like talk the tour with you guys.
No, this has been so much fun to follow it. Like, oh my gosh, modern technology is crazy. So
it is crazy.
The Mumbai show was the first show all tour to not have a live feed. Not only was it the last show, but it was the only, like, there just wasn't enough signal coming out of the stadium. And it was really like, we were so spoiled. It used to be in the days that when they like left, if you wanted the show, you just kind of, you could look online at the set list or this or that, but that was it. On Pop Mart in 97, we didn't know anything.
No, that's so true. I read a thing also that they had, that in Mumbai, they had like a dedicated train.
They did. And there was a helicopter service you could rent.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I saw it said like U2 Express or something like that.
They had a train, they had specific buses, and there was a helicopter service that you could take for a rental fee. You could take to the show, but not back. But it took you straight to the stadium.
Remember when we had a driver take us to Giant Stadium? My uncle had a driver take us there, but he didn't plan a driver to take us home, and that's what we really needed.
Yes.
Oh my god, the pain of that day was...
Oh my god, and getting home was awful.
Being put on those trains, and it was just not a great...
No, we weren't sure we were we were just getting on trains just to move.
Right. We actually ended
up... Once we got to New York.
We started off going the wrong direction just so we could be on the train when it turned around.
Right. Oh my gosh. And then we're like, we just need to get on something else. And we did. And then we would just work from there.
Yeah. Thank goodness they knew where they were going, because I couldn't even think straight that night.
I was like, I'm never going home again.
No.
I live here now. on the
Right.
train system. This is my home.
Oh God, that was crazy. But I mean, it was really wonderful of Uncle Charles to think about our transportation there.
Yeah, right?
And
Now we know it's after the show that you really, but there was no like, there's so many people and nothing in sight. The taxi line was just insane. So insane. Ugh.
yeah,
Well, should we
you
say
can't.
goodnight for now?
I think we should. What's
I gotta go finish this week. I think this is our last episode of the year
I think it is.
of 2019.
Bye-bye 2019. Hello 2020.
We'll come back with Rattle and Hum.
We will. So
Oh.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa.
All those
Happy
things.
Wednesday.
So I just have to tell you this real quick, and then it's a good
Yes.
note to say goodnight. Last night, I was on the way to a friend's house, and I started listening to Rattle and Hum for our research. Got partway through, and when I got back in the car afterwards, I thought I would see if this would work. I said, "Hey, Siri, continue Rattle and Hum." And she promptly played Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. To which I said, "Touche, Siri, touche."
Right.
And I let it play. And then as she started playing the Blackout, and I was like, I'm not allowed to listen to that yet.
I listen to Amazon device in my bathroom frequently.
Yeah.
If you just ask it to shuffle you two, like it's always the same freaking songs in the same
God.
order. It's the first song is Mysterious Ways, second song is Still Found What I'm Looking For. Like it's like I can tell you what the order.
It's not even shuffled. It's just a playlist that it created for you.
Exactly, but it says shuffling music by you too on Amazon Prime.
Sure, I'll do that for you.
I'm like, that's not a shuffle. Come on. But the other day I was in, and I'm like, I just kept saying skip, 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 and the Blackout came on, and I said the same thing. I'm like, I'm not allowed to listen to you.
Oh, did you stop it or did you let it go?
I changed to The Police.
Okay, fair.
I'm like, I can't even do this anymore. I didn't have the patience for it. But then it's like, I feel like I yell, like, man, those things take such abuse.
Like verbal abuse?
Yeah. I scream all the time. I'm
That
like,
is
10
hilarious.
more minutes! 10 more minutes! Don't wake me up now.
God, no.
God damn you. I don't want to hear this song. What's wrong with you?
Shut up. I don't like that. I'll ask Siri to play. I'll be like, in the car, I'll be like, play some music that I like. And she's like, sure, coming right up. And then she plays some like weird ass dance techno remix that's by like 4 DJs I've never heard of in one song. I'm like, you've known me for how many years?
You don't even know me. It's like we just met.
Well, I think I need to sign off, and I have to go finish this yarn wig. Oh, look at your doodles from today.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
Look.
I like them. They are a bit, I like all the hearts. It's very on topic.
Yeah. I tried to draw flowers, but I'm not very good at that.
Yeah, I like it.
Did some zigzags. But this is really helping my fidgeting.
No weird clickety sounds in many episodes.
No.
I think our listeners thank you.
This has really solved my
editing skills really thank you.
I'm gonna make a copy of. I'm gonna post this.
Yeah, post it.
I will. This is what I do during podcast recordings. And you are welcome, because otherwise it would be just like, like looking
clickety clack.
Yeah, just like anything I could think of. Like, I can't sit still.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, my dear.
Okay, good night, and everyone have a very healthy, happy, safe holiday season and New Year, and we will see you in 2020.
2020.
On home.
Yeah. Until then.
Good night.
Also, we love hearing from people and chatting with people, and of course, we love talking you too. So you can drop us a line on Instagram or Twitter at _gardentarts, or you can even email us at wearethegardentarts@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you enjoy this podcast, we would love it if you would share it with your other YouTube-loving friends, as well as leave a review for us on whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. We would really, really love that. May your music be loud and your whiskey be strong. Until next time, cheers.